Nigeria is at the verge of final breakup. I repeat, Nigeria is at the verge of final breakup. The northern Nigerians are on the run because yesterday Tinubu finally met with the Christian Association of Nigeria, led by Pastor Adeboye. And what we have now is very shocking to the northerners. Adeboye said he would not protest for the interest of the north. We all know that in the past 1 week, the Western medias have launched a massive attack on the northern Nigerians for all their Islamic agenda against the Nigerian Christians. Now, whatever path Tinubu takes will define his future. And as it stands, if Tinubu does not say the truth, he will be kicked out. If Tinubu tries to satisfy the northern interest at this point in time, he will be kicked out by the Western powers. Because as far as Nigeria is concerned today, the 2027 election is even way above the northern oligarchs taking the decision. What we can see today in West Africa as it's concerned, okay, is that the Western powers want to understand what is actually going on about the Christian persecutions, because there has been so many parliamentary discourse right from America, and now we have them, they are saying it in Britain, that why should the Christians in Nigeria be maimed, killed, persecuted, executed, and nobody is speaking up. What we have now is, will Tinubu not speak the sincere truth that we have out there? Will you say anything that will maybe protect the northerners? Because we know that what the north want now is that the likes of Adeboye, the likes of Oyedepo, the likes of Reverend King, Oyekilome, all these pastors that we have, what they want is for them to go to the national media and publicize that there is no Christian killings or genocide or persecution. And I dare say that because this campaign, these crusaders are being led by Pastor Adeboye, I sincerely hope there will be what we call total integrity. But there are so many people who have started also attacking Adeboye, saying that even in the midst of this, Adeboye is still saying that he will pray for Tinubu to take the right decisions. I have seen so many Southerners, particularly, people who are non-redeemers, who have come out to say that Adeboye is a saboteur against the Christians. Some people have said Adeboye, during the years of Jonathan, he took to the street, he carried placard, he said he was, protesting against the insecurity, but neither have we seen him on that Tinubu protest for once. That everything he has been doing is to pray, is to fast, and is to lead prayer walks in support of the current administration. Some people are even saying that he's a monophyky. In English, it simply means that he's an hypocrite. For me, I know that whatever conversation they had yesterday, it will be a make or break for the Christian religion in Nigeria. Because if the pastors say anything contrary to the interest of the Christians, they say anything contrary to the interest of the general South, which is predominantly Christians, then I know that Nigeria is at the principle of final shake-up and breakup. Because the Western world, who have the data, who have the real information, they know what is exactly going on. All they need is just for people to come up and say things as they truly are. They want our prominent pastors, the likes of Kumuyi, the likes of Adeboye. They should be the one that will voice it out. but the northerners are seriously on the run. Wherever they are, they are shaking. I mean, the last time we saw Sultan coming out to be explaining, go explain, tire, no evidence. He came out telling us that jihad does not mean it does not mean Islamic conquest. He came out, no, jihad simply means to work hard, like to strive for excellence. Baba, they explain, but you go explain tire. You know why? Because they know that the very moment this evil contraption I repeat, this evil contraption, the very moment these Western powers set an eyes on it, and they say that enough is enough, some certain decisions must be taken. Indeed, that decision will be taken. Let's use Sudan for an example. We all know how the Christians in the South Sudan were under lock and key for many years by the Muslim majority who occupied the northern Sudan. Put aside the fact that maybe Southern Sudan has not become an El Dorado today, but one thing we know is that there is no longer religious persecution in Southern Sudan. And we can see gradually, because Rome is not built in a day, gradually the Southern Sudan are trying to retrace their dignity, retrace their step, and of course to become human again. And it was when the Western powers took a decision to intervene in the conflict that was over 20 something years in Sudan. It was basically a religious, conflict. These people felt that they were more superior. So they didn't give a damn about the outcry. They totally marginalized the Southern Sudan. I mean, we can also take a look at what is going on in Congo. Or let us go to Indo-Pakistani when they were together. When the Indians and the Pakistan were together. The Pakistanis wanted to operate a country that was basically premised on Islam. It was not until they separated that we started seeing Pakistan becoming even a country that has a nuclear warhead. So you can see when I mean that if Adeboye, the Christian Association of Nigerian Pastors and leaders and executives, if they try to say otherwise, well, maybe that will be the end of Christianity in Nigeria. Because if they go out there and try to sugarcoat whatever we have been passing through, even when the evidence has just significantly enormous, we have seen how there has been, very aggressive persecutions, injustice against Deborah, against the archbishops in Gombe. So many things that they've done. I'm actually going to play you a testimony of a northerner, a real northerner. However, as a Christian, he will share his experience to you guys. I'm going to play it, but let's continue analysis. So you can see that yes, Adeboye can decide to say, I will pray for Tinubu. He can decide that I will not protest. However, he cannot come out and tell us that there is no Christian persecution. He won't there. Because if you go to North, you can count the number of churches in Kano State. You can literally count the number of churches in Zamfara State. If there's any churches in Zamfara State, I tell you, it won't exceed Gusau, which is the capital. And you might not probably have more than 2 or 3 churches. Maybe one Catholic, maybe one Pentecostal church, there may be one, whatever, Anglican. You might not have more than 3 to 5. But you come to the South, you cannot count the number of mosques. Nobody has ever taken it upon himself in the South to say that you cannot establish a mosque in this locality. That does not happen. These are religious persecutions that to this very moment that I speak are still happening in the North. You cannot just go to anywhere in the North and set a block and say, this place is my place of worship as a Christian. People come and join us. Some of you go turn shako. So these are the issues that we have. We are looking out. We are waiting for them to release that thing. The Christian Association of Nigeria, we're just waiting for them to betray. Maybe they will betray the Christian people. Maybe they will lie. And the Western powers are also watching. They're watching. We will see. We all remember that it was until the Pope came out to speak about the issue of Yele Tower before Tinubu ran there. It was when the issue of Yele Tower happened, 300 people were named. And then the Pope felt, these people are Christians. What is going on? Then the media, all of them ran there. Hey, no be our hand, no there. Immediately, we will not graze again in the night. Even if we will graze, it will be during the day. Hypocrites, monafikis, trying to deceive themselves, not us. We know that Tinubu is all after his own re-election. It behoves on him. Don't be surprised that the North now will start changing their tone. The North who have been against Tinubu, that we all know, we all seen, Don't be surprised that now they'll say, Tinubu will go vote you. But just don't, there's no religious crisis. Tequila, the very famous way to deceive your people. They go on deceive am, they go give am. But by 2031, let's listen to these recordings of that guy. Thank you.
Once I started consuming them, that's when they started talking. Initially, it was the security. They started with the security. And that for that security is just a trigger. They have what they want to do and want to achieve behind it. They were after Christians. We don't go to church. You hardly go to church because of them. When they are killing the Christians, they were happy. Until when it comes to consume them, then they started talking. It happens, I had that experience in Maiduguri. I was caught up in Maiduguri in 2009 when Mohammed Yusuf was killed. I went for a wedding. My in-law, it happens that he's a deputy national director of DSS. That's how we came to know and, provide security for us to get out of Maiduguri. So people will tell you that they are not killing Christians. It's a lie. It's a lie. Christians in the north are being denied so many privileges because you being a Christian. I will give you a short story. A secretary to the state government, my aunt was picked to reorganize state secondary school. I swear to Almighty God, she told me that he picked two schools and told her never allowed a Christian to be the principal of this school. And she's a Muslim. So there are a lot of persecution going on. Look at, if you come to Madagali, Isge and the rest, these are Christian-dominated area. This is where Boko Haram has been hitting day in, day out. Come to Hong, Dabna, is the village of former secretary to the federal government, Boss Mustafa. I'm telling you, it's just because of this rainy season that they cannot cross a certain river from where they are coming in. But I'm telling you, you will see they will come and attack, kill 30 people, 40, and go back. After some few days, few weeks, they will still come back and attack them. So nobody will tell us that they are not killing Christians. No. Christians are being killed. Christians are being denied privileges in even government settings. So before, the Christian does not have voice. Now we have the voice. And we hit that voice till it goes to high heaven. And I'm telling you, the things that you are seeing now is the cry of the blood of people that are being killed. Their blood is crying for vengeance. That is why you see the Americans and Britain and the rest are coming out to tell the world that this is what is happening in northern Nigeria. The Bible taught us to be, the Bible does not tell us to be religious, rather it tells us to be righteous. We have the peace of the dove, not the peace of the sword. We have been quiet for a very long time, but this time around we will not be quiet. Our voice must be heard. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah. Ola, are you there? Ola?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
All
Thank
right.
you. I've had a lot of what people have had to say. Personally, I've never been to the north, and I don't have plans in the nearest future to visit the north. Um, Firstly, first I would say two truths can coexist in the sense that are there killings in the north? in Christians killings in the north. Yes, they are true. They're killings in the north. And it's also the West also trying to push propaganda. Yes, there is. They are also. But personally, we should look at it that how does it benefit we average Nigerians. I say I get really confused, and I mentioned it on I think it was it DMX Space or Digi Space yesterday that we have people who are very sympathetic to this cause, and we have them not in thousands but in millions, and not in one unit of millions but in like double units of millions. And it is and I keep saying it, the government is a reflection of its people. You have people who are in place, who are in position of power in the north, because obviously they are obviously from the millions in the north, right? Who are also very sympathetic to the cause, and they dance to the tune of what their people want. So I'm just going to say that, like I said before, I say we're still going to have this conversation again if nothing drastic is done. And what I meant by that is that there are people, like I said, who are very sympathetic to this cause. Like, see, Bashir Ahmed, you could imagine that tweet. He was a senior special advisor to the president as at then. As a senior special advisor, you're conscious of what you are tweeting. You are not just an average person, but for him to be confident enough to tweet that, you could imagine the mindset, right? And he had to delete the tweet because of the backlash, not because he felt what he said was wrong, right? Because he had not come back and retract that statement. He has not come back and put up an apology. So I want people to first understand the mindset. And you see people like Revolutionary, and you see people like Mohammed. They are not just few numbers. They are millions, right? So therefore, me personally, I've looked at this whole Nigeria thing. It's difficult for me to see a positive way forward. I'm sorry. I've had people advocate for state police. Imagine you giving state police to a governor in Yobe State, who is also probably most likely, I don't know, allegedly, probably an apologist. He also has sympathy for this cause. Now imagine you giving him state police power. Imagine how he would be able to use the state police infrastructure to also oppress even people who have of opposing religious belief. Um so I think first thing first, there's failures in government at all levels. If there is safety for Christian life, there will most likely also be safety for Muslim life. So if the government today, and that was one of the reasons why I supported Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because I felt like, okay, this guy will be able to like come up and like put an end to this insecurity situation. But sadly, that has been insecurity has nosedived since he even came into power. So if he's not able to achieve by 2027, if he's not able to curtail this insecurity to a large extent, he would have failed in that sector. And if the government cannot provide basic safety of life for its citizen, what is the essence of the government? I also Someone also mentioned, oh, the USA government, Democrats are were was they are all the same. They don't care about us. They don't care about us now. They're not going to care about us in the future. We can utilize their statement or the outspread, the widespread whatever it is, media, what they're doing. We can utilize it to also try and like push the government to push them into action, which is, yeah, we can use that, and I do support that also. What I would say is that, you see, it's very funny for me when I see Nigerians, and that's me personally, when I see Nigerians protesting or fighting for Palestinians. I believe these guys are Arabs. Have you seen how Arabs treat blacks? Have you seen how the average Arab? Do you know this? Do you know the average Arab mindset towards you as a black person? You don't know if these guys have. Have you seen how they've treated blacks in the past? Have you seen videos coming from places like Syria how they are treating blacks? Have you seen people getting beaten? People in Palestine are not fighting for me. They are not advocating for people that are dying in Benue. People in Palestine are not speaking for people that are killed in Maduguri. People in Palestine are not speaking for people that are killed in Borno. Right? There are probably more people dying in Nigeria than even in Palestine. But but we as Nigerians, or you as a black person, you are taking the fight upon yourself. It's ridiculous. And when the vice president went there to speak on wherever United Nations, we don't have a business. It's not our business. If Israel provides seedlings to Nigeria, what has Palestine provided us to Nigeria? What has Palestine provided to Nigerians? As a country, we have to be selfish. if the worst devil is going to make our country better, we support him and you get what benefit us. That's how you get development. Because there is no good, in this world of politics, national politics, there is no right, there is no wrong. So all this, we have to fight for what's morally right. When we're going through our dying need, who came to fight for us? Who was there for us? So personally, I would just end up by saying it's you see this old stuff, like I said, they are in the millions, and it's yes, I've had people say, oh, the government should do this and do that. Yeah, it's true, we should put the government should do that, but I wouldn't lie. If the government destroyed Boko Haram today, if we still have a large number of people who still have this sympathetics, who still hold their religious belief above the constitution of the country, if we still have people who feels that their religion should be superior, we are going to have Boko Haram again in the future. Thank you, guys.
This